Good evening, everybody. Once again, this is the UFC 128 post-fight recap with Standing Bear Thunderheart. And man, tonight, this event has been really, really good. It has a good card overall. And what a great night for many of the fighters and the fans, definitely. But let me run down to this because I got a lot to say, so here we go. Alright, so Nick Catone versus Constantinos Philippou. And the winner is Nick Catone. Unanimous decision. Erik Kock versus Raphael Assuncoa, and the winner is Erik Kock via knockout. And what an excellent debut for Erik Kock. So congratulations on that one knockout victory. I mean, basically it was just those two just started swinging from the get-go with punches and kicks and so forth. But it didn't last very long because what happened was Erik Kock was actually in some kind of a stance where he was more or less in a horse stance at first. But then as the time went along, he got his rhythm going. And then, of course, Raphael Assuncoa was so zealous. He got overzealous and went after him. And, of course, so Kock went back and actually gave him a nice right hook, hit him right in the side of the ear, and just got him knocked him out right there. So congratulations, Erik Kock, on your successful UFC debut. And remember that I said the last time that Brian Emersol was my favorite, was the best successful debuts I've seen. I still stand by it, but now Erik Kock just beat that. So I just thought I'd let everyone else know that. And Joseph Benavidez versus Ian Loveland, and the winner is Joseph Benavidez, unanimous decision. Kurt Pellgrino versus Gleison Tibau, and the winner is Gleison Tibau, split decision. And Ricardo Almeida versus Pyle, and the winner is Pyle, unanimous decision. And Edson Barboza versus Anthony Njokuani, and the winner is Edson Barboza, unanimous decision. I mean, this was a pretty, wow. I mean, of course, the first round definitely went to Edson Barboza. But I was actually surprised that they actually put the second round for Edson Barboza too, as well as the third, because Anthony Njokuani was really finding. He really started to find his rhythm and started hitting them. But I guess they gave him the reason why they gave Edson Barboza the second round too was because of the fact that he took him down, and he actually even took him down in the third round. And I guess drew more strikes than he did. But in any event, it was an excellent fight. Like I said, the first round started with a kickboxing match. But then also too, in one part of the fight, Edson Barboza threw a kick. Njokuani actually held his leg, and actually took him down. Rather than actually do like a regular takedown, he just took him down by just throwing him down and then got on top of him. But in any event, Edson Barboza has a definite good win with unanimous decision. So congratulations, Edson Barboza, on that. And Luiz versus Eliot Marshall, and the winner is Luiz via TKO. I mean, from what I saw, this fight didn't last very long either. Definitely, Eliot Marshall was coming out swinging, but Luiz he was finding his targets really well. I mean, he really was hitting him, and then he even took him down, and that's when he finally was able to ground and pound him to such a degree that he couldn't do anything. And so it got to a point where it got too much that Eliot Marshall was covering up, wasn't defending himself intelligently, and the referee just had to stop in and stop the fight. So congratulations, Luiz on your victory. And Mirko versus Brendan Schaub, and the winner is Brendan Schaub via TKO, and that also made finishing turning point in the night. So congratulations, Brendan Schaub. I mean, let's just face it, Mirko was not looking his best like as usual the last few years, but at least he was looking better than his last fight. I will say this against Frank Mir. It went to the third round. That's how good it was. And then not to mention Mirko was actually looking good, and he was actually busting Brendan Schaub up because he had his eyes cut up. And then even from what Joe Rogan was speculating, that he might have also broken Brendan Schaub's nose as well because his blood was always dripping out constantly. and he was breathing harder, and he was getting tired, which was actually surprising because the last time I saw Brandon Schaub fight was Gable Gonzaga, where he was still looking good. He was still, moving, back and forth, throwing jabs and punches and so forth, and he was not breathing so hard even in the third round. So that's what surprised me about with Brandon Schaub a little bit, as far as his, breathing hard in the middle of the second round. But in any event, he just simply, but you see, despite the fact that he was so tired and drained, yet he was able to, really conserve enough energy, at least, because Mirko was looking for that either the big right or the big left roundhouse kick that's made him so famous and made him most feared and dangerous in Pride and various other MMA organizations. But Brandon Schaub just beat him to the punch, or to the kick, I should say, because he was trying to throw a kick, but Brandon Schaub had the right distance and actually hit Rocco and just knocked him straight out. Well, actually, referee calls it a TKO, but to me it was a knockout. That's how I gotta say. So, congratulations, Brandon Schaub, on your excellent victory against a legendary Mirko Kock. I don't know what's going to go on with Mirko Kock from now on. I mean, I don't know if it's going to retire, if he's going to go cut weight. Well, let's just see what future plans for him or so. Anyways, moving on to the next match. Nate Marquardt versus Dan Miller, and the winner is Nate Marquardt, unanimous decision. I mean, this was an excellent bout. I mean, let's just say, of course, the striking was definitely on Nate Marquardt's side. I mean, sure, Dan Miller was throwing some great strikes too, but at the same time, Nate Marquardt not only was able to hit more, but he actually even took him down, especially mostly the second round. He just simply grounded and pounded. And tried submission attempts on Dan Miller. But in any event, though, it went all the way to the third round, and then we went to the judge's decision, and so they awarded Nate Marquardt unanimous decision. So, and actually, from what I saw the last time, Nate Marquardt, this is a total 180 from what I saw when he went against Yoshin Akami. So Nate is back, so I will have to say this. Congratulations on your victory. And Jim Miller versus Kamal Shalorus, and the winner is Jim Miller via knockout. I mean, they both started off so strong, swinging and kicking each other, and even like throwing each other around. And the thing about it is, Jim Miller, like I said, was doing his best to submit Kamal Shalorus. But in any event, it just turns out that Jim Miller finally caught him good, and then started hitting him some really good shots to a point where the referee had, Kamal, especially, he was looking strong at the beginning, but then he kept on getting hit, and then kept on, especially when he landed a nice uppercut towards Kamal's jaw. That was basically spelled the beginning and the end, and then he got wobbly, and then he just went after him, kept punching him, and the referee awarded him a TKO victory. So congratulations, Jim Miller, on your awesome victory. And first time in the UFC, even though he was a featherweight champion and what used to be called World Extreme Cage Fighting, Urijah Faber versus Eddie Wineland. Eddie Wineland was also a former bantamweight champion of WEC, World Extreme Cage Fighting. And they both went at it for 3 rounds. Urijah Faber really, he was looking really excited, really jacked up, and he was like so fast and furious, but so was Eddie Wineland. But there were so many takedown attempts that he has missed, but the ones that he did take down, meaning Urijah Faber took Eddie Wineland down, he kept him down, he grounded upon him, and then so many times he would lift him up and just slam him again, a few good times in each rounds. So Eddie Faber had such a strength in him. I was actually surprised he didn't do the Quentin Jackson thing and actually try to really go all the way up and then drop and then slam him. But hey, he did what he had to do, and he got the victory. So congratulations, Urijah Faber, on your unanimous decision. And then and of course, pretty soon you should get a shot at the title weight as a bantamweight title. So congratulations. And I'm just going to say it like this.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, bud?
Hey, how you doing?
Good seeing you again, man.
Yeah, good seeing you too. Oh, sorry about that. That was just security guard just saying hello to me and so forth. So, Anyways, that's not an interruption. That was just a friendly hi. Anyways, let me say this again. We have a new UFC World Light Heavyweight Champion, and his name is Jon Bones Jones. Yes, and who did he defeat? Of course, none other than Mauricio Shogun Rua, of all people. I mean, but let's be honest with you, okay? Look, there have been so many people that I've heard on the internet and even in my face and in person would tell me, Mauricio Shogun will beat him. It's not Jon Jones' time. He's too young. He's just got off the streets. I'm like, got off the streets? Wait a minute. This man's been training MMA for 3 years, and he's been beating the best in the world in UFC. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, he's really dominated so many matches. I mean, so many fighters from Ryan Bader to Stephan Bonner, but I did not expect him to totally dominate Mauricio Shogun Rua like he did tonight. I mean, damn. I mean, he totally destroyed him. I mean, no, okay, it wasn't like the way that Cain Velasquez destroyed Brock Lesnar in the first round. It was very methodically, it was the way he destroyed him. He was very patient, and it did last to 3 rounds. But during those 3 rounds, I mean, Jon Jones had him taken down. He did some spin elbows. He was doing all kinds of fancy stuff that he actually caught Rua. Now, a lot of people were all saying that, oh, Mauricio Rua will walk through those fancy, smashy moves that he did. Well, he sure hell didn't do that tonight. Let's put it this way. Mauricio Rua got caught in those fancy maneuvers. Jon Jones knows how to execute them. That's the whole thing. He's patient. And even when he took him down, I mean, Mauricio Rua tried to take him down twice, and he just escaped like, get out of here, man. What are you trying to do? Take me down like that? Well, let me show you stuff. He just rushed him down and just grinded and pounded him, but then he even like smothered him, like put his elbow on him, like put him a lot of pressure. Just be patient, pow! Patient, pow! And just kept on nailing him. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I gotta calm down a little bit. Anyways, so, man, I have never seen such a dominance. I've never seen a man so dominated like that, meaning Mauricio, in a long time that way. But in any event, during the 3rd round, it just got to a point where Mauricio was just so out of it that then Jon Jones just kneed him in the side, got him back up, and Jon Jones just simply just punched him, kicked him, and then just simply did a nice last knee to the head, and Mauricio just went down, and the referee said that's enough, and awarded a new UFC World Light Heavyweight Champion. So congratulations, Jon Jones, on that awesome victory. And a lot of people, all you doubting Thomases out there that I have to say, many of them say he just walked off the street, he's not ready, it's not his time. Well, his time is now. I have to say it, his time is now. And so give him props for that, at least. I mean, he earned it. Rashad had blown his knee, and he took it, and he ran with it. And now he's the new champion. He's a new example of how the sport can be. And not to mention the fact that Jon Jones is even a hero. He, earlier during the week, stopped a robber from hurting this one lady in New York, somewhere in New York, and he was even meditating at a park. And, that's awesome. And then not to mention he had some leg lock where the robber, the criminal, was all screaming in pain until the police came and arrested him. So he's also a real-life hero, too. So, yes, so we have a great example of what a mixed martial artist should be in the UFC and in the MMA period. That is how a martial artist should be. So he's an excellent example of that. So congratulations, Jon Jones. And, now the next is, of course, his next challenge. Well, challenger, of course, will be Rashad Evans, his training partner, which will be very interesting to say the least. And anybody that may seem to know his weaknesses and his strengths will be Rashad Evans. But let's put it this way: Rashad Evans, there's a difference between training and training partners, and actually have to fight as an opponent. So there's going to be some definite shifts that are going to happen in their training, because they're going to have to train with someone else or other people or however it is. So. But needless to say, this guy, I think he's going to be around for a long time as far as champion is concerned. I don't see anybody in that division that can really beat him. I mean, there may be very few that may stand a chance. But as far as Randy Couture, he's not really motivated to become a champion anymore as far as I'm seeing. Lyoto Machida, if he can beat Randy Couture, he can be up there. Quentin Jackson may, but Quentin Jackson may be a little bit too slow too. so I just don't see a lot of guys beating him at this point. And in any event, I just want to conclude this. But before I do, I just wanted to also, my heart and prayers goes for the victims and people that were in Japan and Russia for the, even though it's a week old, but still, I still want to say my piece about it, about the 8.9 earthquake and also the tsunami that went and wiped off towns up in northern Japan, in Sendai and various other areas, plus also causing a problem within the nuclear area, a nuclear facility where they need to fix up this nuclear reactor before any more damage is done to the air and various things too. So let's all put our positive vibes and our prayers and everything like that towards Japan at this time. And not only that too, but also for the citizens that have survived, that have nothing left, let also help them pray and help them find new lives for themselves and their families, those that have survived this great tragedy. So, in any event, that's all I'm going to say for right now. But like I said, this has been a great night. So in any event, I am standing by Thunderheart, aka Bear, and I'm going to get going. So take care, everybody, and have a great night and be safe. Healing, it is all that is.